Hello, everybody. Welcome into This Week in Jackson County Schools. I'm Evan Stone. I'm going to be hosting the show today, and we welcome the principal of Paint Rock Valley, and we'll explain that here in a minute. Mr. Kevin McBride, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well. Good to be here.
And we're glad this old hat for you now. This is like your third time.
This is my third time being on the show.
You can host the next time.
Okay, sounds good.
Able to do that.
Absolutely.
But we appreciate you coming. We introduced you as the principal because you technically are still the principal of Paint Rock Valley.
Yes, sir.
And for those of you that had followed the news, even outside of Jackson County, of course, Paint Rock Valley, the school board had decided to shut down the schools, but you can't just flip a switch and leave.
Right.
You know, you're still technically having to take care of some responsibilities there.
Right. Yes, sir. I go down there quite a bit just to work on things that need to be worked on. I'm mowing grass now and doing things like that, building maintenance, keeping the building up, working on getting our records closed out, financial records and school records transferred over and things like that. So
I mean, Paint Rock Valley had been there
81 years.
Wow. That is that's a long time. Well, today on the program, or at least the first part of the program, we're going to talk a little bit about Paint Rock Valley. We're going to talk about the transition. We've got a teacher a little bit later on. One of the students that used to be your student is going to come on the show. But so there's some things that you're actually having to do now, to kind of wind things down.
Right. Okay.
Now, as of this year, I think y'all had about 70 students, and those have been dispersed and everything going good.
Sure. We had 76 students when the school closed in May, and those children have since been dispersed to different schools. Of course, Skyline received 25 of those students, and Woodville received 25 students as well. And the rest either moved outside of district or homeschooled, or some are actually in the virtual school program.
Well, we're going to talk about that, and I'm real excited to talk to you. We talked earlier before the show. The virtual schools and virtual reality and internet or online schools or whatever you want to call it. For those of you at home, it's getting big. I mean, there's I don't know what the percentage of kids at college now. You know, they may go to the actual campus 1 or 2 days a month, and then they're doing a lot of their stuff online.
Yeah, a lot of people were able to graduate college without going to the campus at all, just strictly doing their classes online and going for graduation.
Now, the virtual school in Alabama is not new, but it's kind of evolved over the years.
Right. It's something that's been around for a while. We're actually, in the state of Alabama, required to have a virtual policy for grades 9 through 12. We've used a different program in Jackson County for a while when we felt like we could do something a little different, a little better. And so we found a program through OdysseyWare, and they provide the curriculum, and it's very, very intense curriculum with a lot of different options for the students, a lot of different course choices for them, and it's really doing a great job as far as preparing them for college. So we're happy with this program.
Now, you mentioned high school classes. You, as of this year, have been able to, you've taken on a new hat, so to speak.
Many hats. Many hats.
Well, you mentioned cutting grass, so
right.
You know you got the custodian work going on there, and cutting the grass. And there used to be an old saying in radio. You know, when you were a disc jockey, you cut commercials and cut the grass. And
That's right.
You did a little bit of everything, so it's about the same. But tell us a little bit about. I mean, you're still the principal, and you'll be winding things down at Paint Rock Valley, but now you're going to be overseeing this virtual school program.
For the most part, I spend my day working with virtual students. I still do things as far as like helping with things there at central office, maybe with getting books out of the book room and helping deliver those, or anything that really needs done. I'm willing to help them do that. We all kind of pitch in and do that. But yeah, for the most part, my time is spent working with the virtual students and having to travel and make sure that, and we'll talk about how we do that as far as testing and different requirements for them a little later on. But yeah.
Now, virtual schools, and we're talking, of course, about online. We're talking about where you have online, you go on a computer, you can be able to take different courses. And how many students right now, I guess I want to ask you a couple of questions. How many students do you actively have in virtual online schooling? And what's some of the requirements if I wanted to be in virtual schooling?
Yeah, the first thing we have an application process where they would go online, of course, and fill out their application. We would look at that, and we would ask them to come in and interview with us, talk to them about their expectations and their goals. We would then bring them in and we brought them in and let them try our program to make sure that it was a fit for them, and they could manipulate the program, and they were happy with it. They spent a couple days with us making sure that they could do that, and then if they're a fit, then we allow them to come into the program. We currently have 22 people enrolled in our program. I think we had somewhere around 30 applicants so far. So not everybody, but most people are able to do the program.
It's like in every type of job where you do not, and this is just what I'm thinking. It's like having a job where your supervisor is not always there, and you have to be a self-starter,
right.
And you have to, I'm assuming you have to make yourself or be accountable to the computer to get things done.
Right, and that was big starting out. Students who aren't used to doing this, I mean, they have to learn to manage their time like an adult. And with this program in OdysseyWare, you need to set aside about 5.5 hours a day minimum to be successful in this program. So it's not one of those programs where you can just sign up and log on and do a few things and then you're done. It's pretty much an all-day deal if you do it right.
And it's not just for high schoolers anymore.
Right. Yeah, our youngest students, we have 2 third graders, but we're 3 through 12 on the virtual. And hopefully as we move forward, hopefully we're able to move that down even to maybe first and second graders. But right now we start at third
grade all the way up to 12th grade. That really is amazing that you're able to offer that.
Right.
And I can see in circumstances, and you definitely don't want any child to by injury or sickness or something, but I can see where this could help the fact that if they've got a long-term disability that's going to keep them prohibiting them from 2 or 3 months at school, you could transition over there for this.
Sure, and we have that, and in fact the young lady that will be on the show later is going to talk about that, because that's one reason why she's actually doing the program.
Yeah, well, to me that's hats off to y'all for allowing this. And in this day and time, it's like there's an app for that. I mean, it's almost like an online school, even in public schools, is I can see an avenue that's going to continue to grow.
Sure. Yeah, we saw the need there, and we do our best to meet the needs of those kids in Jackson County.
Well, that is really cool. And one thing that you shared with me before we went on the air was the fact that if you're enrolled, let's say that you live in Bridgeport, and you're a 9th grader and you would go to North Jackson High School,
right.
Then you're a student in North Jackson High School.
That's correct.
Even though you virtually go to school at your house.
Right. We provide the curriculum, but everything else is the same for any student that would be going to North. Just like any student at North Jackson, you can go to the dances, proms, any field trips that they have. These kids will be invited to go on. They're students at North Jackson.
And I'm assuming, like, if I'm in the 5th grade, I'm going to get a computer. Excuse me. I'm going to have access to the classes that I need to take that are 5th grade appropriate.
Right.
And I'm going to, I'll finish my math segment and I'll go to my English segment, right. Social studies,
right.
And so you've got, you got several classes, but you're all taking it online.
And you have to be disciplined in order to keep up with all that.
Well, I can see where you'd have to be self-motivated.
Right.
I mean, to make sure that you're doing that and not get sidetracked.
One of the neat things is I'm able to monitor what they're doing at all times. Their parents can monitor their progress, as well as the people at OdysseyWare. So when I go online and I look to see how much time they're spending on a class, or they're not spending on a class, I can shoot them an email or give them a call and say, hey, we need to devote a little more time to this, and they'll say okay, and it'll get better. And We're all learning. We're learning as we're flying this plane. But
well, I mean, you're a teacher and a principal. That's not the first time you've right. kind of had to, keep everybody going in the right direction. That's what you're there for. Right. Before we go and we add to what we're talking about here today, the gentleman has been with you for the last couple of times when you come here, Doctor, and I apologize. I want to make sure I get his name right. Murate. And he would have been here today, and I was he's just a good guy.
Yeah, hats off to Dr. Murate. I wish he was here. He's been here the last 2 times that we've been on your show. He's a volunteer worker. He volunteered at the school, at Paint Rock Valley School, to teach every day. He has a PhD in biotechnology. Chemistry.
It was a big long name.
It was a big one. I don't but he has his doctorate, and he volunteered to teach every day there at the school for free, spending a lot of time after school working with me on doing different things. We were doing our place-based learning, and he and I would be working outside on different projects on the weekends. Spent a lot of time, and he couldn't be here today, and I certainly called him and said, "Hey, are you coming?" And he said, "Yes," and then he called me back and said, "Oh, I have an appointment. I'm sorry." But hopefully he's doing well, but he's volunteering his time at Skyline now.
Well, that was going to be a question. He kind of made the transition like the students did.
He did. He was very, very generous with donating some time to go to Skyline to help those kids to acclimate to Skyline. He's going to continue to do the chess club out there, I understand, and he's doing science labs with them, and they really have become attached to him. He's a really nice guy, and he's really easy to like.
Oh yeah, I remember meeting him the times. I don't know if I was here both times he was on, but I definitely do remember meeting him. So I'm glad that he's been able to continue going. He all and left and went to. So he's at Skyline.
Yes.
All right. Well, tell us a little bit about we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking with a teacher at Skyline. But we also got a student.
My daughter.
Your daughter, that's right. Your daughter's going to come on with us, kind of tell, I guess, from her perspective, the switch from schools over to another school. I really applaud y'all for one thing I've noticed in talking with you and the teachers and even the students that are here. Y'all have really been very conscious and really tried hard to make the transition easy.
It's important. It's important. This is an important time in their lives. Myself, Mr. Dukes he's been out to visit with both of the schools that they're going to, Woodville and Skyline. He's talked to every student personally, and he interviewed those kids and made sure they were comfortable with what was going on and ensured them, talked to them about how things are going and ensured them that things would be great. And he said from what he understood, he didn't see anybody with anything negative to say about it. Everybody seemed to be transitioning well, and everybody was happy.
Well, and that's good. But I have noticed that y'all have went out of your way, hopefully, to make it as easy as possible. Nobody likes change.
No.
Even adults don't like change.
That's right.
All right, we're talking with Mr. McBride, who is still the principal at Paint Rock Valley. They're wrapping things up there, and he's transitioning into another role, kind of overseeing the virtual school. And I'm excited. I think that's great for Jackson County to be able to offer that, number one, and to be able to, and I'm sure you're working with, you got your North Alabama Electric Co-op that's got all of the internet and, and all of that stuff now, and
sure.
And I'm sure they're a great help with that too. So, if you will, we'll just take a break and we'll ask you to stay with us. We got lots more still to come right here on This Week in Jackson County Schools. We'll be back after this.
In for breakfast, lunch, or dinner at Bamacide. Enjoy a family atmosphere with good home cooking, including burgers, steaks, fish, plate lunches, and more at Bamacide. Top it all off with a homemade banana split or other delicious dessert. At Bamacide, watch your favorite games on the big screen, especially those SEC rivalries. Open Tuesday through Saturday until 8:30 Eastern, open till 3 Eastern on Sunday, and closed on Monday. Dash says, dash on into Bamacide. 632-3436 for Bamacide. Alabama Highway 75, just on the Bama side. Sequatchie Valley Electric Cooperative is your energy partner. With a mission of providing safe, reliable, affordable electricity, SVEC offers programs and services that help you save money and energy, all while making your home more comfortable. Call us in South Pittsburgh, Dunlap, Pikeville, or Tracy City and find out about easy, affordable heat pump financing and available rebates. Keep up to date on SVEC programs and news and monitor your account by visiting svalleyec.com or download the mobile app for your smartphone from Sequatchie Valley Electric Cooperative.
Trust and commitment go hand in hand at Whitwell Pharmacy. Pharmacists Ann Campbell and Steve Ireland, along with their experienced staff, work hard every day to deliver the prescription needs of the Whitwell area. Whitwell Pharmacy is open 6 days a week for your convenience. Whitwell Pharmacy, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5:30, and Saturday from 9 until noon. Call 658-6939. Proudly serving the Valley from Whitwell Pharmacy.
Delivering top-quality primary health care locally. We are Northeast Alabama Health Services. With 7 locations, there's one near you. Scottsboro, Section, North Sand Mountain and Higdon, Skyline, Woodville, Fife, and Fort Payne. We accept Medicare, Medicaid, and of course your private insurance. If you're unemployed, low income, or have a high copay or deductible, you may also qualify for a reduced rate office visit as low as $16. Ask about our free medication program, and ladies, you may qualify for a free or reduced rate mammogram. Dental referrals for our patients with tooth removal and fillings for only $15. Putting your health concerns first, we're Northeast Alabama Health Services. Cervical cancer screenings now available at Northeast Alabama Health Services.
At First Southern State Bank, putting you first is our priority. First with convenience, with branches in 6 great communities: Fort Payne, Rainsville, Scottsboro, Higdon, and our Stevenson office, now recently enlarged and remodeled. First with our friendly, experienced staff, always helpful and ready to serve. And first with our mobile on-the-go banking. Our mobile app is fantastic, user-friendly, secure, and free. So whether it's online or in person, you're our first priority at First Southern State Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
And welcome back to This Week in Jackson County Schools. I'm Evan Stone, hosting this week. We're having a good time, and I'm learning a lot of information about what's going on with the virtual school. But we've got a couple of new guests on here, along with Mr. McBride. We have Ella. Hi, Ella.
Hi.
Ella has the same last name as Mr. McBride, and we'll explain that here in just a second. And also, Mr. Counts is here with us. How are you, sir?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Doing good. Appreciate you you coming on. Now, Ella has she has a distinct role that not a lot of students have had over the years, but your dad happened to be principal of the school you went to, so I guess that's going to be my first question. How does it feel to have a dad as a principal?
Oh, it's hard because he knows everything that goes on. Everything.
And he should. So that's good. I mean, he's doing his job. And, well, that is good. But it's not that bad, is it? I wouldn't think so. But, Ella, you went to Paint Rock.
Yes.
And what we're going to talk about here on this side is the fact that we just talked about how they have really tried to make the transition as easy as possible. And Ella has come on. And I'm going to talk to you first as a student. What grade are you in?
I'm in 8th grade.
Oh, wow. All right. How long had you been at Paint Rock?
I'd only been there for 2 years.
So a couple of years.
Yes.
All right, and now where are you going?
I'm going to Skyline.
To Skyline. Now, I do know that, and I'm going to ask this, and the question that we didn't talk about before, so Dad may have to answer. Did they give you your choice of what school, or if you live in this geographical area, you have to go here, or if you live closer to this line, you went? I mean, how did y'all determine between Woodville and Skyline?
Actually, yeah, we actually drew a line, a boundary line, but it was pretty flexible as far as for the first year. In fact, athletes were going to be eligible at either school.
Okay.
So they could transition to either school, but after that 1 year, then they had to go by the boundaries that were set, the district line.
I kind of felt like they were, but that's one thing you and I didn't discuss, and I never heard anybody say. So,
right. Mm-hmm.
Okay, good deal. This is your you like Skyline?
Yes, actually.
And I'm sure you had a lot of friends, and when you heard that the school was going to be closing, I mean, obviously you probably knew a day or two before everybody else because of your connections and all. But tell us a little bit about, from a perspective of you being an 8th grader, and maybe some of your friends, that a lot of your friends get to go with you. I mean,
yeah, a lot of them went to another school, but most of them did go to Skyline with me.
Very good, very good. Skyline, both Woodville. I've never heard anything but good things from both Woodville and Skyline. So they're great schools.
They're both great schools.
Got a great administrators. We've had kids and teachers on from both schools, and I know that. Do you see the fact that they wanted to make sure that you were okay transitioning on to another school?
Yes.
Good deal. What are you focusing in for a career? I know you're in the 8th grade. You've got to be deciding these things. He'll be wanting to get a job for long.
Basketball right now, I think.
They've already. I've already asked them that question. I'm a career tech instructor. I teach agri-science, so they've already been asked that question. So she doesn't have a good answer right now, I don't think.
Well, Dad, of course, I don't know what your mom does, but the Dad, he may want you going into education, following the.
Nice.
in the footsteps. But hey, you got plenty of time, but you do need to start thinking about that. Mr. Counts, you're teaching at Skyline,
Yes, sir.
but you also had a lot of ties with Paint Rock. So tell us a little bit about the transition with what you've seen with the faculty as well as the students coming in.
Okay. Well, yeah, I will explain my ties there. I volunteer in the Paint Rock Valley area, and the fire department there hosts a haunted house. So a lot of the kids work there and volunteer and get community service hours. So I was a face that a lot of them already knew, because we had probably most of the kids that came to Skyline had volunteered with us at the haunted house. So I'd already had those ties. And then last year, Mr. McBride, they had a project-based learning set up at Paint Rock Valley. And as part of that, they were raising hogs. So me being the ag teacher, they didn't have an ag teacher up there, so I came up and we did some projects with them and let them use some equipment. So a lot of those kids already had been around me in the classroom setting. So that transition was a lot easier. But just overall, Paint Rock Valley and Woodville, or Skyline and Woodville, both hosted a open house for the kids to come in. They had an opportunity to go to both of them. They were on separate nights, so they could come to and introduce the teachers and the faculty. All of our faculty was there, and I had my FFA officers were there so that the kids could talk, because they, not having an ag program, they had not had an FFA program either. So they got a chance to talk to these guys and see about some of the programs that were offered at the school, so they could make a better decision, as to what would best serve them.
Well, that is great. And you've now it's been a few months there. Everything seemed to be flowing smooth?
I think so. It's been a good transition. And I'm sure Woodville's the same way. I grew up and actually went to school at Woodville, but I've been at Skyline for 20 years, so that's my home now. But we are a very accommodating place. We have some amazing kids, amazing faculty, and I feel like they've done a good job of making everybody welcome and feel at home.
I've told this story before, and I'll be real quick. Y'all may not have heard it, but I was having to shoot a commercial, actually, at one of the health centers over there, the clinics that are all over the county, and then also. But anyway, I was in Skyline. First time I'd ever been in Skyline. And there's a store there kind of across the street, and y'all may know exactly where it's at, from like a gas company. Mm-hmm. And I went in there, and they didn't know me. I used the term my grandma Adam's house cat. Y'all have heard that before. Okay. But they just made me feel like that I was just that I'd lived there half my life. Yeah. And I really felt like that when I left. I thought, this is a great community, because they made me feel like that I lived there, and they'd invited me home for supper. Yeah. So I was tickled when I left, because I really felt like that. That's what kind of community y'all had.
It is, and like I said, I've been there 20 years. I still don't live in a community, but I feel like I do, because I'm the same way. They've welcomed me, And I grew up playing basketball and baseball against a lot of those people. So I'm teaching the kids of those guys that I grew up competing against in sports or in FFA activities also. But yeah, I mean, it's a very tight-knit community, and like I said, I think we've welcomed all these other guys from Paint Rock Valley and made them feel at home.
All right. Are you excited about the basketball season? It won't be long.
Yes.
We get rid of all this football and start playing basketball, you know. It's how many years you been playing basketball?
I've played since 5th grade.
Okay, so you're and you'll be competing. Is it like I can't really remember. Y'all have to help me. Is that like a junior high league?
Yes.
You know, a junior varsity.
We have she'll be on the junior high team, but we have junior high, junior varsity, and varsity level basketball.
I know Jackson County is definitely a basketball county.
Right.
That is for sure. So it's a lot of fun, isn't it?
Yes.
That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Well, Ella, we appreciate you coming on. Is there anything that you'd like to tell anybody out there? You want to say hello to some of your teachers or friends or whatever? Don't want to put you on the spot. We thank you for coming on. I know that I appreciate your dad inviting you to come. It's an important part to get a perspective from a student, you know,
right.
Because it is a change. But I do applaud y'all for taking the time to not realize, okay, all right, we're closing this school. You need to be over here next
right.
month. You know, that's kind of rough at any age.
Yeah.
You know, for sure. All right, Mr. Counts, anything else that we can talk with you about that you got coming up? We've got a couple minutes here.
Well, I never am at a loss for words or when I get an opportunity to speak about my FFA program.
Go for it. Yeah.
We have one of the top FFA programs in the state, and we're getting ready to come up on our national convention. I have a young lady from our chapter. She was here when they came and spoke to you back in the spring, and she won the state FFA creed speaking contest.
Wow.
And will be representing the state of Alabama at the national competition in October. And then our chapter will be recognized as a national level gold chapter. So we've got a lot of good stuff going on. Yes, sir. Thank you. And we're just continuing to get better as we go along. So.
All right. Mr. McBride, what is coming up? In the next segment, we're going to be talking with one or two of your virtual students.
Correct. Yes, sir. I just want to bring a few virtual students on and let them give you a perspective of how the virtual program works from their side of it. Let you see how they manage their time and talk about maybe the reasons why they chose to do the virtual rather than brick and mortar, things like that.
Well, good deal. Mr. Counts, Ella, we appreciate it. And, of course, we'll be back from Mr. McBride, and we're going to take a break. We thank you for watching This Week in Jackson County Schools. We'll be right back after this.
Jerome's Fine Swine. It's so fine, it'll blow your mind. Delicious pulled pork, smoked chicken, homemade sides, and freshly brewed sweet tea. Check out that fine swine Jerome is cooking up, including loaded baked potatoes, delicious hot dogs, barbecue nachos, and more. Jerome's Fine Swine is open Monday through Saturday until 8. Dine in or carry out. Let Jerome cater your next work, church, or family get-together. Just look for that fine swine on the roof. Highway 28 across from Save-A-Lot.
At Reed Funeral Home of Whitwell, a tradition of caring is carried out through a personal commitment to each family. Our experienced staff and funeral directors and embalmers stand ready to help you through your toughest times. We offer every type of funeral service, from traditional to cremation or any combination of life celebration. Depend on the Reed family and Reed Funeral Home of Whitwell, 11675 Highway 28 in Whitwell, 658-5516. Reed Funeral Home.
Looking around your home thinking it may be time for a new look? Let Comfort Gallery in Kimball help you make perfect choices for every room in your home. Living room, bedroom, dining room suites from all the major furniture manufacturers. If we don't have what you need in the store, browse our full-color interactive kiosk to find exactly what you need. And don't forget a new mattress set. After all, sleeping well makes everything better. At Comfort Gallery, we offer free delivery and setup, 1 year free layaway, and 6 and 12 months, same as cash. Comfort Gallery, 780 Main Street, 1 mile north of I-24, exit 152A in Kimball, Tennessee.
Folks around these parts have put their trust in the Ponder name for filling their prescriptions for decades. Jennifer Ponder Hicks, Doctor of Pharmacy, continues the tradition of fast, friendly, and personal service at Ponder's Mountain Pharmacy. Ponder's Mountain Pharmacy is convenient to our customers between Dobbins and North Sand Mountain School, next to Northeast Alabama Health Services. Ponder's Mountain Pharmacy gladly accepts most insurance plans, including Alabama Medicaid. When the need arises, have your doctor phone Ponder's Mountain Pharmacy at 597-4020. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Ponder's Mountain Pharmacy. Come hungry and leave satisfied at Cloud's Pizza, Highway 71 in Higdon. Cloud's Pizza uses only the freshest ingredients, and we hand toss our own pizza dough. Our pizzas are made from scratch when you order, so they're always fresh. And don't forget about our famous Sand Mountain cheese sticks. You can eat from the daily buffet or try a mouth-watering hamburger or cheeseburger. Come see your friends at Cloud's Pizza, Highway 71 in Higdon, and never leave hungry. Call ahead at 597-3100 for Cloud's Pizza. Visit us on Facebook at Cloud's Pizza and more.
Come see us at Cloud's Pizza.
I'd be doggone if I wouldn't work all day. And I think I'm going out of my head. I keep on dancing for sweet little Sheila. You'll know her if you see her. Blue eyes and a ponytail. Her cheeks are rosy. She looks.
Hello, I'm Ben Cagle. Don't miss Downbeat, the best of the 1960s. Saturday, 1 o'clock on the Big Jet Fly.
Continuing now with This Week in Jackson County Schools here on KWN. Mr. Kevin McBride here with us. He is the principal and has been for a number of years at Paint Rock Valley. And, of course, they consolidated that school into either Woodville and Paint Rock Valley. And I guess that's a better way to say closing, isn't it?
Yeah, I think
it sounds a little bit better. You consolidate it in,
right.
You got, give somebody, a chance to go to the others. And we thank your daughter for coming on and being a part, but we've got a couple of other students, and these are your students.
These are our virtual students.
That is amazing. We want to welcome Elizabeth Horton. How are you? Good. And Savannah Hogan is here with us. Now, Elizabeth is in the 3rd grade.
Yes, sir.
And Savannah is fixing to graduate. She is in the 12th grade. Now, what school do you go to?
North Sand.
North Sand Mountain. All right. Well, you're not far from home. Not from here. You'll be home here for long. By supper time, as they say.
Yeah.
That'll be good. But Savannah goes to
North Jackson.
North Jackson, and we do both. Of course, both schools high school football here on KWN TV. We do the North Sand Mountain game and also the North Jackson game. And North Sand Mountain had homecoming this last week. Yeah, that was good. Well, tell us, we found out a little bit about the virtual school and basically an online school. Elizabeth, how many years have you taken? This is your first year because you just start the 3rd grade, right?
Yeah.
Do you like it?
Yes, sir.
All right, and also, how many years have you been doing it? I mean, since this is your senior year.
I just started this year.
Oh, okay.
This is our first year doing this new program with Odyssey Aware, but several students in Jackson County have used a different program, but this is the first year with Odyssey Aware.
Okay. All right.
Where it's an exclusive program all day long for a student.
Well, tell us a little bit. I'll start with you. I mean, obviously, you're fixing to graduate. This is your last year at in school, and how are you adapting to this online?
Well, at first, when we went there for about like a week or so to get us introduced to the program and just about the bases to getting to know it, we just stayed there for a few, and it was very easy to adjust. It was more easy to understand. There's no troubles of just having to wait and ask. The teachers are very friendly. It's more easier to comprehend.
That's a good thing that you just brought up. How do you communicate with your teachers?
Well, if you have any questions for them, like during the school hours, you can just send them a message about just any course, anything. And off school hours, you have a 24-hour virtual office. So if you need any help, like out of school hours, which usually I sometimes do my work at night, I would just shoot them a text and they'd get to me as soon as possible.
Does this give you the flexibility as a senior? I mean, I don't know why you chose to do the virtual, but since you're doing some of your classwork at night, or do you have a job in the daytime, or you doing other things?
It gives me a flexibility, a bunch. It helps me prepare for adulthood, and it helps me definitely prepare for college, and independence on my schedule, and, I have to rely on myself to get my stuff done and how many hours I work in that class, and it helps a bunch, especially when you need to do stuff that normally when you go to Border Brick schools you cannot.
Had you ever done an online type of class before, or is this something totally brand new?
This is brand new, my first time.
Wow, that is neat. Now, Mr. McBride's already told us that coming up this next year, you can go and be a part of field trips. You are a student, you are a senior at North Jackson High School, so that's pretty cool, and you'll get to graduate with them.
Yep, I get to walk with my class. If I need to do senior pictures or go there for just anything, I will just go there and do my stuff and then just go do my classes at home.
Now, you being a senior, do you have a full load of classes?
Well, our classes at the Border, school, they switched to 8 periods because we did have a block schedule, but it's way easier. There's actually less classes that I would do if I went to the normal school.
But it's still, you hit the nail on the head when you said you've got to set your pace, because you don't want to fail, but if you did not say concentrated on that school, there's nobody sitting there. You're going to get a call from Mr. McBride if he sees that she's not been on here doing what she's supposed to. I better call her.
Have I had to call you yet? Maybe send you a message?
No, sir.
All right, thanks.
Maybe a little reminder, but that's it.
That's right.
Well, and that's good to know that somebody's out there, because obviously if he didn't care for you and care for your education, he probably wouldn't have already sent you a reminder.
It's very easy, and it's very reassuring that no matter what time it is, you have someone there to just ask any question, or if you're stuck on something, or what to do, or what I need to complete.
All right. Well, Elizabeth, I want to ask you a couple of the same questions. Do you like it?
Yes, sir.
And do you? I guess you do most of your work in the daytime, or you in the afternoon. When do you try to get your school work? When do you start your school day?
In the morning, usually.
So you get up pretty early, just like if you were going to North Sand Mountain, you go and log on to your computer and get things ready. Do you get to pick and choose, like, I'm going to do English, I like it better, I'm going to do English first, or I'm going to get my math out of the way and then do English?
I do them in the order that they're put inside of the computer.
So when you open up your computer, your first class pops up?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So you can work through that, and then when you get to the end of it and completion, then your next class will pop up. Oh, that's...
Actually, they're all there, but you can do them how you like, but I like doing them one by one, top to bottom.
Very good. How many classes typically do you have to do every day in the 3rd grade?
3. But
that's reading, writing, and arithmetic. No, I'm just kidding.
I think she's doing 6 classes in a home PE.
Right? Yes, sir. But used to when I was in school, because I started it in school, I would only do 3. So, and I think doing 6 classes would really help, because I have something to do all day, and used to when I was home, I didn't have nothing to do, but now I have something to do.
You got a structured day, yes. And you step, most of the students now, Mr. McBride, y'all work with computers even at the brick and mortar schools all day long anyway.
Exactly.
So I mean, the old thing of most of us adults would say, if we got a computer problem, we need to go find Elizabeth here can probably fix it a whole lot quicker than I can.
That's right. The kids seem to be a lot more equipped at handling problems on the computer than adults. They're not afraid to tap into it, where we're a little bit apprehensive about maybe we're going to mess this up. They don't care. They know we'll fix it.
That is true.
When I chose these girls to come on the show, I thought that there was a great choice in these two girls, because they had reasons for doing the schools, and I wanted them to talk about the reasons why maybe that they chose to do this rather than the brick and mortar, if they're okay with that.
Sure. Yeah, that would be great. Savannah, you want to tell us why you chose your senior year doing the virtual school?
Well, in the other years of my high school year, I couldn't do, due to my home life, I just couldn't do homeschool. I knew if I did, sometimes it messes with your college. So I just decided to stick through it. And this year I heard about the program, and I'm like, well, that's a perfect opportunity to try something. Normal school stresses me out very much. I just can't focus. I get nothing done. But my homework is always perfect and on time, because I'm at home and I can focus. But this program helps me tremendously, and I can focus. I can get my stuff done without any worry or having to wait for the teacher when they're handling some student.
Very good. Well, it sounds like it was really kind of tailor-made for your last year in school, and be able to help you out. Elizabeth, how come you thought this would be good for you?
Because I have lupus, and it's an autoimmune disease, and I can get sick very, very easily, and it causes me to feel sick most of the time. So I missed 8 out of the first 12 days. So my mother thought that this would be good for me, since I have a lot less chance to getting sick, and when I need to rest, I can. And I can always go back on there like a few hours later, unlike school, and I have to do it all at one time, and by the time we go home, I can barely walk to the car because I feel exhausted.
I do know a little bit about what you're having to deal with. It makes you tired after a long day, and I think that's great.
My mother actually has lupus, and that's the main reason I actually chose this program, to help her out. She can't handle the sun, and when it's a big day, she just can barely walk, and she has to have surgery soon on her ankle or her foot, and I take care of her and my granddad, and so.
Well, very good for both of you. I'm glad that you're able to do your education. You seem to be very, very mature for a third grader. I will tell you that. I'm excited to talk with you, and it gives you an opportunity that you can do your education in a way that doesn't make you completely tired. Because it's tired. I remember going to school. I mean, it was those. Mr. McBride, you remember we went to school, didn't have any air conditioning.
That's right.
We had the windows open. Wasn't even a fan.
No fans.
No
just,
fan.
Just
yeah.
the windows open.
So that's right. So I'm glad, because I hate the fact that you're, for health reasons, you're having to do that. But it's good that they were able to give you something that you feel comfortable with, and it's good. You can do it all through school. Right. And you're still a student in Orset Mountain, which is great, because if you want to go out for cheerleading, or if you want to go out and do any basketball or whatever.
I actually can't do cheerleading right now because it's in the sun.
Oh, okay.
But I can do inside sports as long as I don't have to do them constantly. Like I can take a break when I need to.
Sure.
Because it's really hard on my feet. And half of the reason, the first symptom was my rash is very light now, but yeah.
For outside. Well, I guess the fact that you can still have that association with your homeschool, being North Sand Mountain. You can be a bison. You can as you grow up, you can do the different activities, go on field trips if you want to for different things. So I mean, you kind of got the best of both worlds there. So that is good. That is good. And you, Mr. McBride, you said about 22
students right now. What
do you anticipate this growing into? I mean, what would you like, or what is Mr. Dukes and the board? What are they looking for this school to? This is really a virtual school, so what are they looking for?
We're really happy with the way things are right now. Starting out the first year, we anticipated probably no more than 25. That would be a high number. We're right on target for the goal we had set. I'm already getting people. Of course, we closed down the sessions. You cannot enroll right now because it's the middle of semester or 9-week period. But I'm already getting people calling and applying or wanting to apply for the Christmas when we reopen. We'll reopen this program back up at Christmas for second semester, and I'm getting a lot of people already applying for this. So the word's getting out that there's an option out there that can fit needs of students who, for one reason or another, might not be able to go to a brick and mortar or might have things that would cause them normally to drop out of school or to homeschool and not get what they need. Now there's that option that helps them to prepare to be ready for a career or ready to go to college. And a lot of my kids that are taking the virtual classes, they're planning on going to college. And I'm happy with that.
And probably going to be more prepared going to college in this day and time than a lot of the students, because they're going to be acclimated into doing everything online, which you got to turn in assignments online. You got to do a lot of that in school. They're going to be way ahead.
Now, Savannah, tell them how tough this is. It easy?
I mean, it's not going to be in a ball in the park, but nothing is. It's easier. The work, I mean, it's work. I have to learn what I got to learn, but it's easier to comprehend, I guess, because, I mean, when I get stuck sometimes on the layout, I'll ask, but in all, it's very easygoing, and it definitely helps a bunch with preparing me in the future. I wish a lot of kids would join this. I know a good few that have dropped out or either tried going to homeschool just because of their situations.
Right. Do you enjoy it?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Very good. Do you know? Would either one of y'all have anything else that you want to say that maybe we haven't talked about the virtual schools? So what is the best thing you like about it?
The flexibility.
And of course, obviously yours. But what's the best thing you found out about it?
The best thing that I found out about it is that you can ask questions still, and you can do it at your own pace.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Well, Savannah and Elizabeth, we thank y'all both for coming on. Y'all have been very informative and about this new virtual system that's going on. And I know there's a lot of folks in Jackson County. And of course, this TV show goes into DeKalb and Marion and Dade and part of Marshall and part of Walker County in Georgia. So there's a lot of folks are probably envious of what y'all are doing. Mm-hmm. So that's cool. We appreciate you coming on and talking about it.
Well, thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
One thing I wanted to add is that this program is actually free of cost to the students. So it doesn't cost them anything to do this program, which a lot of programs out there are very expensive. And this one is an expensive program, but we pay for it. And that's part of the reason why we have to be selective in who we allow to be in the program. They have to be serious about it, and we got some great candidates. And Savannah reaffirmed, for me, why I'm doing this. The other day we had a meeting she don't realize, and she should be our spokesperson for it. She said a few things. One, that that stuck in my mind was that it was a godsend. This was a godsend to her because of her. She's easily distracted, and with this, she can focus more on what she's doing. Another thing she said was she learned more in like one day than she had learned her whole high school career just by doing this program. So.
It's true. I've learned way more than just about 3 years in that school.
Wow. That's a testament. And
the information has actually stuck, and when I take a test, the information, I have test anxiety and I'm also on the spectrum, so when a test is presented to me, usually the information just goes away. But yesterday I met him up for a test and I just flew right through it.
Very good, very good. Well, congratulations to both of you.
Thank you.
And we wish y'all well. And you'll be one of the first graduates then.
Yes.
Correct. Of the need.
May I add something?
Absolutely.
The reason, Lord, I like online school because I am flexible, and it is a lot harder and challenging to where I can go at my own pace and I can do what I need to do, and if I get stuck on something, I don't have to wait. And usually I try to do it and then I get it wrong, and it's really frustrating when I get it wrong. I don't know why, but it really is to me. And I just like the online a lot better than I did going to real school.
All right. Well, it sounds like this was tailor-made for both of y'all. And that is good, because if you feel excited about something and you want to do it, and I can tell by talking with both of y'all enjoy what you're doing now. You're enjoying going to school, and that's the biggest reward. Right. I know you as an educator.
I've always hated school. I really have always hated school, and this has made me enjoy it a lot.
I love school. I really didn't want to leave, but this is a lot better for me.
Very good. Well, you've always got that. You're still attached to that school. You're still a Bison. You still get to go to Northside Mountain, and I think that's a great thing too. Well, we thank y'all both for coming on and sharing your stories, and good luck. Congratulations to both of y'all. Now that y'all are getting to go in this program. We'll be back. I'm going to keep Mr. McBride here for one more second, and we say thank y'all for coming.
Thank you for having us.
And we'll be right back This Week in Jackson County Schools after this.
At Mountain View Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, we're not 9 to 5. We're stay till it's done. And we know working hard to be the best is never easy. That's why we believe you have to work hard and play harder. Get up to 25% off on the 2018 Ram 1500 during Ram Power Days. 109 in stock. So, come shop Mountain View Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram at our new location on Alabama Highway. Number 1 for a reason.
Stevenson Utilities, serving our customers with water, sewer, and natural gas services. Find out today if all of our services are available in your area. Contact us anytime at stevensonutilities.net or call 437-0277 or see us on Highway 72 at Stevenson Utilities. Stevenson Utilities. And don't forget, you can pay online at stevensonutilities.net. It's Johnny's Hook and Grill in Whitwell. We've been voted the best seafood in the valley. Stop by and see us. We're open now 7 days a week. And yes, Tuesday through Sunday, enjoy all you can eat catfish. Breakfast every morning, delicious food all day long. Johnny's Hook and Grill, call 815-4014. That's 815-4014. Johnny's Hook and Grill. Yeah, that's where it's at. Highway 28, Whitwell.
Hello, this is Sheriff Ronnie Bo Burnett from Marion County Sheriff's Department. If you have a drug problem, please seek help. Our hospitals and jails are overcrowded now due to the drug problem in our society. There's people out there that can help. So again, I would encourage you, if you have a drug problem, please seek help. There's many organizations that can help you. Thank you. Have a good day.
The Marion County Sheriff's Department and Sheriff Bo Barnett work hard every day to relieve the Valley and Marion County of drugs. You do your part. If you or someone in your family is struggling with drug addiction, get help today. A message from the Marion County Sheriff's Department. The Raceway in Whitwell is always on your way, taking convenience to a new level, 4 a.m. until midnight, 7 days a week. Go by for gas on the go and meet your friends for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The Raceway has been voted the best place for biscuits and chicken in the Valley. You'll also find subs, pizza, buffalo wings, and more. The Raceway, Highway 28 in Whitwell. It's on your way.
Come see us at Raceway.
Back to This Week in Jackson County Schools. Mr. Kevin McBride has been with us basically the whole program because it's tied around everything you're doing.
Right.
Now, we began the program talking about Paint Rock and all the students going to the two Woodville and Skyline schools and getting acclimated there. Seems like it's been a pretty smooth transition.
It has. It's been a tough time. Anytime you go through change like this, it's been tough. The school has been a big part of my life there at Paint Rock Valley, and for that to close, it took a piece of my heart with. But on the other hand, I think with what we have now in place, I think overall the children will be a lot better off in the future. I think they're doing a lot more than they would have been able to get with what we were able to provide with what we had.
Well, with 70 students, and now you got Paint Rock. That's I don't know exactly how many students. Woodville, and then how many Skyline's got, but
520s, both of those.
Around 500.
Yeah.
So, just the sheer numbers of being able to put more teams and more academics. As far as different clubs and stuff like that. So
yeah, don't get me wrong. They were getting a great education at Paint Rock Valley, but I didn't realize how hard we were working to make things work.
That's very good.
It was tough.
That's a very good analogy of what you just said. You didn't realize,
Not that I'm not working hard now, but I didn't realize how hard I was working
to make things work. That's a great analogy of it. I'm sure, because you had to be creative
every day. I was working sometimes 6-7 days a week, just to make things work.
Well, I think at one time, last year you had like 7 graduate or 7, and you want them to have all of the experiences of a class of 200.
Right.
But that's kind of hard to do sometimes.
Right.
To be able to do that. And I know y'all tried, and that's a great analogy. You're working hard to make it work.
Right.
I like that. But I do say the virtual school that y'all are doing and that you're overseeing, I think that's going places.
I like what we're seeing so far. I like the feedback from the students. I'm hearing people say, "Hey, I can work a job. I can help my dad, pay the bills, mom pay the bills, work a job and still get things done." It's a fit for a lot of folks.
It is, and both the ladies on today are a testament to the fact that one shoe don't always fit everybody.
That's right.
You got to have different shoes, and both of these young ladies will be able to flourish in this system that they've got, so I think that's a win-win.
I think so. Even with where they're at, Skyline and Woodville, they can only offer so many courses. With the virtual school, I have kids taking French, things that you wouldn't dream of taking, at a brick-and-mortar school. They're able to take and do well at, and I think that's a really big selling point for our program.
And I can see, and I don't know the logistics of it, but I can see, and we only got a couple of minutes here, but I can see where, I may be a senior at North Jackson, and you don't offer something that I want to take, but I might be able to, through this online virtual school, be able to take an extra course or get prepared for college or something that is like a dual enrollment type
We have a blended model where they can actually take courses with us and take courses at the school as well. We also have children who are actually participating in the technical field. They go to tech school, but they're still virtual students. They take our virtual classes and they go to tech every day.
That is neat. That is neat. And of course, if you don't know, if you watch this show every week, because I think just a couple of weeks ago we had the tech school here and kind of explained everything that they do, and that's always been a great asset for Jackson County.
It is a good program.
To be able to have that. Well, Mr. McBride, we thank you very much. Kind of excited for what you're doing. We are in the the tech age.
That's right.
So it's good to see. It's good to see y'all offering these classes, and good to meet these two young ladies and your daughter that was here earlier.
I appreciate it.
Like that, it had to be hard to be a principal.
It's tough.
That's like a preacher's kid.
It's tough.
They're always the same thing.
The same rules apply, but it sure is tough when you're a baby girl. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, it's what they. I'm sure it's tough on them.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would want to be in that situation, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I went to school with, where the mom's the teacher. Have a friend
Right.
that their mom's the teacher, and it wasn't always the best thing for them. Just because people would, be on them a little bit, or can you get my mom to do,
Right. And there's always going to be that kid that says, "Oh, you get by with this because your dad's a principal." And it's like,
and that's probably
I'm more strict on them than I am the other kids, because
that's exactly
I expect
right.
a lot more.
Actually, that's exactly right, Mr. Bryant. Thank you.
I appreciate you having us,
and we thank everybody for watching every week, and we hope that you enjoy the program, and we will do it again next week. For watching, thanks all the guests today for watching this week in Jackson County Schools. We'll see you next week.